welcome. How are you doing? It's Anna from Pink Dragonfly Consulting here. And did you blink? Did you miss February? Because I did. Wow, I know it's a short month. It isn't that much shorter though. It's only 2 days shorter than a lot of other months during the year, isn't it? So why do we always feel like February just goes boom like that? So I'm just checking in with you this morning, end of Feb, Thursday, nearly at the end of the week. What have you got going on? Have you got some stuff in place that you would do today because it's month end? Or will you wait until Friday to do that? What do? Do you pencil time out for yourself in your business? I'm always really curious about that because so many business owners, women and just men in general, business owners, do not treat themselves as if they were their own client. And I believe that it's really essential to block out some time in your diary and to look at the end of the month and do a proper review, a proper appraisal of where you are. Now, depending on how your business runs, you might not be able to do that today or tomorrow. It might be the start of next week when you do it. But I'm really, really curious to know whether you do one or not. You know, do you actually invest your precious time in your business by reflecting on the stuff that you've done, by recording all the stuff that's gone well, what maybe hasn't gone well, and finally, this is the biggie. If you've had a great month and you've done things and you've moved your business forward and there are some real nuggets in there of things that have gone well and you're going to do better and you're going to do more of, do you ever reward yourself in your business? Because for so many of us, when we've come from that kind of background where perhaps we were in sales or we've been in a corporate environment or even public sector, perhaps not over the last few years, but certainly when I worked in that arena, you kind of got your monthly review and your quarterly review, and you might get your annual wage increase. Certainly when I was in sales, it was all about commission. It was all about how much you'd sold, what value you'd brought, how many clients you'd brought in, what those contracts were worth. And on top of your basic salary, there was the reward that you got for bringing that business in. And how are you rewarding yourself? Because it's really, really important. And it doesn't have to be money, ladies. It doesn't have to be money. In fact, a lot of the time, it should be something else. So I'd really encourage you to have a think about a monthly review and how it is a really super helpful way of knowing whether everything that you've done this month has worked, where you might need to tweak things if they haven't worked. So if they haven't worked, don't just throw them away and say, I'm not doing them anymore. That's your opportunity to drill down into that and work out why it hasn't worked. Because there might be a reason for it. Just thinking about the last 2 weeks, we've had 2 different halves of the country on half term for a week over the last 2 weeks. And that might be absolutely vital to how you're doing business, where you're showing up, who's even looking, because actually they're on half term with the kids. There's a whole host of reasons why things might not have worked for you this month. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater if it hasn't worked. Review it, look at the reasons why, maybe tweak it a little bit and test it. You know, when I'm talking about reviewing, it's looking at some of the key indicators. So everybody's different. You know, it might be your version of success is not my version of success, and that's why I won't tell you what you absolutely have to look at in your business. But there are some key fundamentals that you might want to keep your eye on. One of which is your income and your expenditure. So you need to know what's happening and financially the viability of your business, not just this month, but forward, forecasting forward, at how you are doing, what you've got in the pipeline, what plans you've got coming up. If your income isn't looking so great, what are you going to put in place to boost that? But it's not just always about the income and expenditure. People, you know, might want to have a goal to increase the number of people in their Facebook groups, they want to increase their mailing lists, they might want to attend certain networking events and therefore make meaningful contacts with people. You know, an indicator of how well you're doing might be the feedback you've got. You know, you might be sending things out to people and asking for their comments. So review those things, and if you are asking for those things, what are you then doing with them? And what's been challenging, I guess, you know, look at all the great stuff, but similarly, what bits didn't you enjoy? And be really truthful with yourself here. So if there are things that could have gone better, why? And do that bit of research. But what are the things that are taking your time up that perhaps you really don't like? And not everybody can afford to outsource all sorts of different bits of their business. But there are ways of doing it, and there are very cost-effective ways of doing it, which would free up your time to do more of the stuff that you love, to get in front of the clients that you want to work with who are going to pay you, to produce or make more of the things that you make. It doesn't matter whether you've got an online business or offline, whether you're physically making a product or whether you are selling yourself. If you can maximize those opportunities to create income in your business, then have a look at that and work out what is it that's taking you hours and hours that really pains you, but somebody else could do in a couple of hours, and actually you could have earned a lot more money by freeing up your time that way. So just have a think about that. And then obviously the all important reward stuff, it's not always money. And actually, a lot of the time I would suggest it shouldn't be money. So what do you love doing? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want some headspace for yourself? Will you enjoy going to a local National Trust or English Heritage property and just taking a couple of hours out for yourself? Do you want a long bath with no blooming interruptions? Or would you like a new book? All of these things can be a treat. So I'd also encourage you to have a think about how you're going to reward yourself. And when you do that work, when you look at the what's gone well, what hasn't gone well, what can I do more of, what can I do less of, make a commitment for the forthcoming month. So in March, what actions are you going to commit to doing to keep that positive momentum going? Right. I'm going to buzz off. It's my business development day, so I am going to walk my walk and talk my talk, because if I'm asking you to do things, then I need to do it too. So have a wonderful Thursday, and I'll speak to you very soon. Take care. Bye.